Yo, what's going on? It's Terror Talk. I'm Will.
And I'm Hector.
And today on Terror Talk, what are we doing?
Who the fuck? Nah, we're going to do, take our rage out.
Yeah, we're going to take our rage out. We got to take our rage out on this because it's around It's Halloween time right now. I don't know when this is going to be up, but
November.
Yeah, probably.
It's Thanksgiving time, wink, wink.
Yeah, maybe. But it's Halloween time, and, we talk about a lot of our most favorite horror movies around Halloween. We would be remiss if we didn't talk about some of our worst ones.
Yeah, and we'd be remiss if we didn't even mention Halloween.
Halloween.
Any
ends.
Whoa!
Yo, Halloween ends. We're going to talk about Halloween ends today. Now, when you look at the Halloween series, right, we look throughout it. There's some hits, there's some misses, right?
Always. There's always like one good,
right.
bad, good, bad, good, bad.
Yeah, like I like 4. People are like kind of sour on 5. Like the one, there was Resurrection,
yeah,
which was kind of disrespectful.
Which is stupid.
We're jumping around, but yeah,
yeah.
H2O, right?
H2O was like...
I like H2O.
Which is the Scream with Jada Pinkett Smith?
Scream 2.
It reminded me of that. It was just kind of like one of those, like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
you know
definitely,
what I mean?
100%.
Like a lot of characters that, famous celebrities are in that one.
Definitely. It feels like a Scream movie.
Doesn't match how Halloween rolls.
Yeah. It's similar. It's more slick.
Yeah.
It's like quicker. The cuts are different. The edits are different. They got Josh Hartnett in there. Why?
Because he was so popular.
He was popular. Josh Hartnett, shout out.
Hey, shout out to Pearl Harbor. That movie was great. I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
Man, I'm telling you,
I was Cuba Gooding Jr. in that movie. Just,
The last 45 minutes was pretty good, but I mean that love story shit was.
It's horrible, and also how they portray nurses. It's just like they're just freaking out.
You hate that stuff.
Yeah, because it's dumb. Anyways.
So we, there's lots of hits, lots of misses. You got the Rob Zombie movies. Some people like, people dislike. I've had new appreciation for them.
I personally like the first one.
Yeah, I watched the second one again. I like it.
Yeah, it's
I like
not
it
bad.
now. Yeah, it's not bad. But today we're gonna talk about the biggest misstep in all the Halloween series. And if you already know, we already mentioned it. It's Halloween Ends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck was this movie for?
I don't know.
Like, when I watch it, I'm like, all right, but why are we doing this?
Right,
why? It's like I'm a fan of Michael Myers. I'm a fan of the Halloween series.
Yeah.
And yet you're like, I don't know, it's like you're abusing me. Like,
you're
like
abusing
forcing
me
to watch, this shit. And
I felt attacked. I felt personally attacked. And I felt abused.
Right?
Because I'm watching the movie and I'm
you're like, okay, I like this guy. What's going on here?
Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean? Like, this movie, the series, I mean.
Right. I like the series. It was like they came out with a bang. 2018, they came out with the Hot Flames, right? They're kicking it off.
Jamie Lee Curtis is like, hey guys.
Yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis is back.
I still connect, Like,
yeah, hey, I'm back. I'm crazy as shit. This is the 4th iteration of me, by the way. But this version, it was great. It was to the point. The music.
Yeah.
Well, can we talk about the music in the first one for a little bit?
It's
incredible,
right?
Yeah,
it's so good. And it's kind of we all know John Carpenter's like catchy, typical Michael Myers theme that you could hear everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But like, excuse him, wow.
It slaps so hard.
Yeah, man.
That ding, 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 ding. Yo, it hits so hard
because
on every level.
The thing is, John Carpenter does his own music.
Yeah, yes.
So
with his son, right?
Yeah. But the thing is, it captures that kind of retro sound, but not too over. It's just perfectly done, man.
It's perfectly done.
If you're a fan of like the early Halloween movies, you love that typical horror music kind of thing, but with a little bit of more today kind of theme to it. It's beautifully done.
Beautiful. And then so that movie comes out. It slaps, right?
Yeah,
everybody loved it. It's critically acclaimed, and it does well at the box office. It's successful. So we're like, hold up, David Gordon Green. This is the guy who did the Green Hornet and Pineapple Express. I was like, yo, hold up, wait a minute. Who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
And Danny McBride
is the writer.
Like, I was like, wait, the guy from Eastbound and Down, the obnoxious dude that runs around and makes stupid jokes, he's the writer of this semi-masterpiece?
I remember when I heard the name, I was like, it's got to be a different Danny McBride. And everyone was like, no, it's Danny McBride.
It's actually Danny McBride. So I'm like, this is crazy. This should not make any sense. Like, David Gordon Green made some decent dramas in the beginning, and then he made like a bunch of like okay comedies. Like, I'm not big on I'm not big on Pineapple Express. I think Your Highness is okay, and I hated the Green Hornet.
I didn't like Your Highness, but I did like Pineapple Express.
Yeah,
I
it was all right to me.
The randomness is what I find funny.
I think that shit's kind of overrated, though.
Which one, Pineapple Express?
Pineapple Express, everybody loves that shit.
There's some sections in the movie that's just so stupid.
Yeah, true.
Like the whole scene where it's like, it's my cat's birthday.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
So
There's funny parts. Like, it feels like a spiritual successor to Dude, Where's My Car? Almost but in like a much more like risque kind
it's
of
also
version.
like, okay, hey, did you like Superbad?
Yeah,
you're probably gonna like this.
Yeah, you're probably gonna like it. Yeah, it's okay. It's like, I like in that movie how it goes from comedy to like ultra violence in certain scenes. I dug that. So David Gordon Green comes out of nowhere, hits the ball out of the freaking park, in my opinion, on Halloween 2018.
Well, it's also like, what's the director of what's that movie called?
Which one? What movie?
With the friends.
Freddy's Dead?
No, the friends, they go out on a vacation.
The Vacation.
Yeah, with Zach Galifianakis.
Zach Galifianakis.
Yeah, what's that comedy movie? Bradley Cooper.
The Hangover.
Yeah, like that director did The Joker.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, well,
because he went from that movie to this.
Well, if you watch Hangover 3, which was my biggest complaint, if you watch Hangover 3, it's not a comedy. You ever seen Hangover 3?
I don't remember too much. I remember 1 and 2 and 3. I was just like, all right, I'm kind of done.
Yeah, 1 and 2 are kind of the same movie, but
yeah.
3, they're like, yo, do something different. He's like, oh, bitch, I'm gonna show you something different, and then he does 3. 3's not a comedy. It's a crime drama. So I'm like, okay. Then when I saw the Joker, he does Joker after. I'm like, okay, that kind of makes sense because I remember
it was so
part
dark,
3.
though.
It was
like
so
the
dark.
Joke, yeah,
it was dark, but like Hangover 3 was dark. People get murdered. Like it's violent. It's nasty. It's mean. Like I was like, okay. Then I saw Joker. I'm like, makes sense. It was a natural transition into it. But
it's kind of like that. You're like a guy who does
you're
a lot
like,
of comedy
okay,
movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's this guy?
Yeah.
So he comes out Halloween. All intents and purposes, fantastic. Halloween Kills, right? Comes out. It's okay.
It's not terrible.
It's not terrible. It's okay. It's just it's basically one long. It's Halloween 2 all over again. The original Halloween 2 by John Carpenter.
Much, yeah.
And it's just Michael Myers going around murdering dudes for like an hour and a half, which is fine, but it's like kind of dumb also. Like evil dies tonight. Like all that shit. It's kind of stupid.
I think maybe they were alluding to ends though. Like, you're ready for a stupid ass movie.
Yeah, you were
for no
some
reason.
Dumb shit. So it's like it goes on this long killing spree, which feels like this movie probably shouldn't exist. Like it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In that sense, it's just
you could have been okay without this movie.
Right. It doesn't add anything. It's just a bunch of kills. Like we're just like, okay, it's fine. There are some decent parts in there, but I mean, I only watched it twice. Like I watched the original Halloween 2018.
Yeah.
I watched that like 12 times, maybe 13.
Because it's great.
It's great.
Yeah,
it's great.
It's awesome.
It's great. But then the second one, I'm like, I watched it a couple times. I'm like, okay, the first time I liked it, it tricked me. And then the second time I watched it, I was like, oh, okay, this is not that good.
Yeah.
It's not that good.
You know, you got to do that with movies sometimes.
Yeah.
There's movies that you watch the first time, you're like, this is awesome. You tell your friends about it. You rewatch it with them. You're like watching, you're like, this is fucking stupid.
This is some shit. This is garbage.
I can't believe I actually
speaking of
shit.
This.
Oh, yeah, Halloween Ends.
We get to Halloween Ends, and it throws everything out the bag, all the goodwill out the bag, like out the window. Like the reason why I say, like, I think we feel abused by it is because what you set up for the first 2 movies was that, okay, we're going to have a conclusion to this Halloween series.
Yeah.
But what they did instead, they said, let's introduce a brand new set of characters. Let's introduce a brand new character that we're going to give a complete arc to. And then he's going to become the new Michael Myers and then blah, 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 and all this stuff. And it's like, what? Wait, what is this? Why did you make this?
Not also that, but just the abuse my boy's taking, Michael Myers.
Oh, yeah, Michael Myers is a beat-up piece of meat.
Yeah,
like,
and I'm
he's
like,
done.
But I'm just like, all right, who is this movie for?
Who is it for?
Because last time I checked, we're all Halloween fans. That's what we're here for. It's kind of like you're...
Oh, no, you're a Halloween fan? I'm a Corey Cunningham fan. I like Corey Cunningham.
I'll be back.
I'm a Corey Cunningham fan. I've always been since he was introduced in the 3rd movie.
But I'm just saying, like, you're there to see this kind of movie. And then for some reason, they punish you for watching it.
Yeah, they said, like, hey, we want the conclusion.
Yeah,
it's like, hey, we want the conclusion. It's like going to a Chinese buffet. And then you go in there, you get up to the front of the line. You think that you're going to be biting into some sweet and sour chicken.
Yeah.
But you're actually biting into chocolate, and you're like, what?
all dark chocolate. Too.
Now you might say, hey, chocolate ain't bad. I get
but
that,
like a lot.
but not when you're expecting the sweet and sour chicken.
Yeah, it's like you go to I don't know, you go to McDonald's, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a hot summer day.
Okay.
And you're like, damn, I can't wait to get a McFlurry. And the machine never works.
It doesn't work.
And you're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, it's misleading. It's a misdirection.
Yeah.
So, what I think they were trying to do with this movie now, David Gordon Green has gone on record by saying like he wanted to make a romance movie, right? Well, he did. He wanted to make like a romantic drama.
But like, okay, do another movie,
right? But I
Like-
think what they were trying to do. This is what I think happened. I think what happened. So, the boyfriend in part 1, right? The boyfriend in part 1 who was like a dick. He should have died in that movie. That was one of the biggest questions: is why didn't this boyfriend die?
That's true.
So then David Gordon Green went on record and said, oh, wait a minute, hold up. I got something special planned for that kid. And I was like, okay, cool. I wonder what that is. I think initially what he wanted to do was take that boyfriend character and make him the Corey Cunningham character.
Okay.
Because then he dies in Halloween Kills. But it makes much more sense why that kid would turn into the Corey Cunningham character, because Corey Cunningham is introduced in the third movie, right? We get him right from the third movie. We have nothing. We have to develop his character in the third movie. Whereas you could have taken the boyfriend, Allison's boyfriend, first movie, second movie, third movie, and it progresses to that evil because everybody he knows dies, right? His dad gets killed. He's seen all this destruction, and it can show the way that evil transcends.
It does make sense to go that way.
Yeah, and I think they fucked up.
Of course, too much sense is not good sense, as we saw in Exorcist.
Right. Oh, David Gordon Green again.
So
he ruined stuff.
It's like
That's what
I remember we're talking about name the directors that could really ruin the Exorcist.
Yeah.
He's one of them. Well, for the next trilogy, who's the next director? We were like J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, J.J. Abrams.
And Michael Bay, just for fun.
David Gordon Green should never make another horror movie ever again, because Halloween Ends, while it is not inherently bad, it is bad for what he set up. Like, I think I was talking to some people. I saw this in a pre-screening, and I was talking to people outside of this, and I was like, hey, this story is not a terrible story to tell. Like, the fact that we can explain that Michael Myers is evil and it is transient evil, like the idea of it permeates and it can permeate through a town, like it can, you know what I'm saying? So like bad things happen in towns all the time. Michael Myers is such a pivotal part of that town, right? So it's easy to blame that. Even though Michael Myers is dead and gone, it's easy to blame Michael Myers for the influence of it's kind of a disease that spreads.
Yeah.
It's like, well, Michael Myers killed a bunch of people. You know, my life isn't going so well. Maybe I'll do it. And people can have their own reason. Yeah,
so like Scream,
right, exactly.
Ghostface in the beginning, they got idolized.
Right.
You know,
exactly.
this
That's a good
guy's,
way to put it.
And then they just keep the tradition going with the killings.
Right.
And then, of course, they have to go after the main girl.
Right.
Well, after, the first.
Yeah, but it's the idea of that Ghostface, like, and they keep that going. So, like, every time in
like
Scream
Batman.
movies,
You could be Batman, but he's just a symbol. Yeah,
he
sure.
is a symbol. Yeah.
Yeah.
Scream, like, so, like, every Scream movie, like you're saying, just to add on to it, like every Scream movie, the killer's motivation is somewhat tied to the original
Correct.
film. Like, it's not like it's not some new shit. Like, they're like, oh, I decided to kill because something else happened.
Yeah.
No, it's all tied.
Student loans.
No, yeah, student loans suck.
Student loans.
It's all tied to that idea of Ghostface.
Yeah.
And the same thing can go said where if you wanted to introduce a new killer into the Halloween series, you could have done it that way as the idea.
Yeah.
Or you could have done it in a sense that evil exists as an entity that transfers from person to person. And they attempted that in the first movie.
Yeah.
Remember Dr. Zartan?
Yeah.
So with Dr. Zartan...
Is that his name?
Yeah. You think... Yeah. Dr. Zartan,
okay.
yeah. And you're thinking that he's... you think he's a new Loomis, right?
Like for a minute, you're like...
Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute, it is. I've seen it 13 times.
You're like, hold up.
So he's like this set up as a new Dr. Loomis. He's been overlooking Michael, all that stuff, but we don't realize that he's an evil Loomis because
He's like a big fan.
Yeah, he's a big fan. So he winds up stabbing the cop, slicing his throat. He lives. The cop lives, but then he puts on the mask
Because he wants to see through the eyes and experience
So it's
that.
like, oh, is evil like... I thought it would have been a ballsy choice to kill Michael Myers halfway through the movie and then have Dr. Zartan wear the mask. That's balls right there.
Yeah.
That's balls if they did that, because it shows that Michael Myers, it doesn't matter if it's just
now the director's like writing notes.
Yeah.
He's just like,
let me remake this shit.
Wait, rewind this real quick. What was it again?
It's a blonde white guy from the South or wherever he's from in the Midwest. It doesn't matter that it's him. What matters is the acts of what's going on
Yeah.
beyond whatever whatever motivations. That's why I like the fact. That's why I didn't like the Rob Zombie movies as much, because they gave him a motivation.
Yeah, it gave him
like,
I gotta agree with you on that, because they went hard on it too.
Yeah, they said,
know what I
he
mean?
was
It
abused.
wasn't like, okay,
he was
here's
this.
my idea, here's a little bit.
Yeah.
No, it's like the whole movie.
Yeah, it's the
kinda
whole
like,
movie,
okay.
and it's like, okay, once you give a reason for the boogeyman, like if I know why
Yeah, he
somebody's
was
coming
bullied
to my,
or something.
yeah,
like that, you
yeah,
know?
I'm like, I got like Michael
He
Myers
had a
coming to my
lisp or
house. Listen,
something.
I gotta kill you because I was bullied, dude. Like, bend over. I'm like, wait,
Yeah,
what?
they made fun
No.
of my butt tooth, you know? You're
Yeah.
like, what? That's why you did all
Wait,
this?
this is why you did all this destruction? Like,
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
yeah, I'll be like, once you find out behind what makes the monster a monster, it becomes less scary. But
See, that's the thing about Scream I've always liked, is that every Scream is a different reason why they were doing what they're doing. You know what I mean? It's not the same thing.
it's
But
sort of, but
tied
it was
to
all
family.
tied to the same kind
That's
of thing.
because I feel like they did that on purpose. Like
Yeah.
towards the end, the
It's
most
not-
recent
yeah,
one.
because it's all like
They did like family ties. You're like, oh, okay.
yeah, it's always kind of tied to the original aspects of like
Yeah.
them. Like it's a different reason in nature, but they're all like a stem of the same tree. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of like it's all rooted in the same thing. It's not something random like I'm just like student loans. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not like it's not really like that.
Discover student loan screw me big time. Here
Yeah,
I
so
come.
like we know in the next movie, whatever in the next Scream movie, it's going to be something tied to
Student
something
loans,
original.
yeah.
Student loans
Yeah,
probably.
Nelnet.
Imagine writing it down. He's like, Christopher Landon's like, oh yeah, student loans.
Oh, that's a pretty
That's
popular
pretty
topic right now.
good. But like Halloween Ends, the problem with Halloween Ends, it's not bad in itself. So this story could have worked. I was talking to some people and I was like, if this was called Haddonfield and it was a TV series on Peacock,
That's great.
it would have been great.
Yeah,
it would have been fine.
You understand? Okay, you may not like it, but you'd be like, okay, I get
Yeah,
it.
you get it. You
Yeah.
don't have to watch it. Like it's part of the Halloween universe.
Yeah.
But you don't have to watch it. It's not part of it where you got to like the Continental with John Wick.
Yeah.
Right. That show. You don't have to watch that shit. It
No.
doesn't matter. But it's something like like an addendum to it.
Yeah, it's
fine.
what you call that? Spinoff to it.
Yeah, spinoff. That's
Yeah.
fine because now we have time to develop the Corey Cunningham character. I think the Corey Cunningham character could work in the right setting because he's a good actor and it's a good story. Like you're in a situation where you know how it is. Everything is going good, right, in your life, and then some shit happens.
All it takes is one extra cream in your
moment.
coffee at Starbucks.
What? Yeah.
I said 2 pumps,
You're
lady.
going to college. You got a girl. You got some money in your pocket. You got parents that love you. You got a brand new car, and everybody likes you. You get into an accident. You kill a kid by accident, a la The Machinist. Your whole life is over. It's done. Like we all
wrap.
know how one little decision that you make or one mistake can change your life forever. And the way that they handle him is because with Corey Cunningham's character, they're basically like, okay, well, you killed a kid, Michael Myers. So they that stigma, they're already sensitive to murders.
Yeah.
They're already sensitive to death in that town. So now he's being like villainized and chastised. I don't mind that. And then he says, you know what? F it. I'm going to become the monster that everybody wants me to be. That's not a bad story as an addendum, but not as the end of the Halloween trilogy that you
Yeah.
set up.
That's what I'm saying. Like, but they didn't.
They did.
And then it's just an insult, man. I don't know.
is.
When I'm watching it, I actually rewatched it last week. Just
Oh, you
I'm
did?
like, yeah, just to
Okay.
see. I'm like, and I'm just watching the whole time. I'm like, why? Why am I? What are you doing to me? Like, I'm just like, why would you do this? Like, when you watch this movie, you're like, this is the end.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This
This is
is
the
how you want to go.
It's like
It's
like
g-
the last fight between Michael and Laurie it feels like an aftermath. It doesn't even feel like it's supposed to be part of that movie.
Yeah, and also it just looks very kind of like whatever.
Yeah,
Like, there's
whatever.
A
Yeah,
lot
it's
of
like-
whatever scenes.
He's like, I gotta end this movie, so let's just put a stupid fight at the end. And
Yeah,
then
yeah,
He
and
dies
and-
in 2 seconds.
Yeah, and then I'm just like, you could tell there was a lot of like, it might have been a lot of like, hey, I want this.
Yeah.
Nah, scratch it out. Okay, yeah, just do this. You know what? F it. Who cares?
So just make it like I think. I don't know if this is a popular opinion or not. I think that Halloween 2018 should have been it. They should have killed Michael Myers definitively.
I feel like
and
they
then-
could have just.
Yeah, they could have just ended it there.
It could have ended it there and then spin off.
Yeah,
Like you
spin
said,
off.
Haddonfield.
Yeah.
And yeah, I like the idea that Michael Myers may be dead, but his
He's
evil
cast a
spirit.
big shadow.
Yeah, like everybody's wearing his
They're
mask
all-
and continuing the
everybody's
kills.
Kill his kills. Everybody's wearing his mask.
But-
Some people use it as an excuse to kill
But then
people.
it's gonna be like Scream though, because they're gonna have to. Oh, Jamie Lee Curtis, hey, I see
Yeah,
somebody
they
wearing
could.
the mask doing the
They
same
could,
thing.
but you could have it like
But-
how I would have did it. I would just have Jamie Lee Curtis completely out of it. Like she moves.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
That's
don't
it.
make it like Scream.
Don't
Just,
make it like Scream. Yeah.
just straight up, he's a fanatic. Is wearing
Yeah.
the mask, doing the same exact
Or what
thing.
they were teasing at the end of Halloween 2018, Allison's holding the knife. She's like clutching it, and like she's seen so much violence. She's seen her all this violence. Her dad has died.
Her dad died hard as hell.
Yeah,
too.
hard. He died. He got his
They
ass
didn't even
kicked.
care when he died too. They're like, "Oh, he's dead. Come on, let's just move on." And you're like,
Fucked
"What?"
him up.
Yeah.
He turned him into a suitcase. Like he just like folded him up and put him in a thing.
What's up with dads in horror movies that get destroyed?
Oh
for no
my
reason?
god! Because you know why? It's like when
You know what movie I'm
With
thinking
dads.
of? If it's It Lives Inside.
yeah,
For no reason, the way
Yeah.
the dad went, he didn't die.
he didn't die.
But I was like, damn, that's crazy that he
Because
survived.
dads are the central point of strength for a family. So the moment you eradicate that, it becomes a lot more tense, right? If the dad lived and he's like giving it all, protecting his family, got his guns, everything like that, it wouldn't be as scary. But once you kill the most important character, it's like killing in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, they
Okay.
killed the most muscular, athletic guy first.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh shit, what are they gonna do now? The wheelchair guy's the last one to die. You're like, what the
But
hell?
the way he went was hilarious, though. Not
one?
the wheelchair guy.
Oh yeah,
Because he's just standing there shaking.
but
I remember I was like, yo,
They got his ass.
what? Yeah, he's just
But-
sitting there. He couldn't.
But that's why they
It's
do that.
terrible,
That's why
man.
they do that with
Yeah.
the dads, because the dad, like I've heard in true crime things where somebody's breaking and entering or like a home invasion, they kill the father first. Like they're going there
100%.
sleeping, they got to kill the father first because that's the only one that's going to give them the most
And
resistance.
listen, we're not trying to say that the mother can't defend herself, but we're just saying that's how it is in the movies. They go after
Yeah.
the big muscular guy with sleep
strong, the
apnea with the
patriarchy.
BiPAP machine on and stuff like that.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
He's just there.
They kill
I know.
him. They kill him first all the time. But I don't see. They didn't give any. What they did. The main problem with this Halloween Ends. It's the last one, right? So they had no more story to tell. So they added this. They duct taped this Corey story on, but then they condensed it so much that we don't give a shit. Like I
Yeah.
don't care about Corey. Like I don't care. It's not enough time.
Yeah.
It's not enough time to develop him as a character to give a shit when he makes the turn. Because I'm like, okay, this guy's life sucks. He makes a turn. He's killing people. Okay, fuck him. And then he dies at the end. Then Michael Myers kills him. And I'm like, okay, what was the point of this shit? Like, what was the point? And the dialogue is so bad.
But that's the
don't
part
ever
about-
write romantic dialogue.
That's
David
the thing
Gordon
about
Green.
this
Like,
movie.
yo,
It's a lot of like, who gives a fuck?
yes,
You're
yo,
like they're giving you characters. You're like, okay, you invest a little time in it.
yeah, like, very
and then
little.
and then you're like, it doesn't mean anything. You're
Yeah.
like, well, what the fuck?
But like the romantic dialogue, like how the fuck you gonna fall in love? Like it's the stupid, it's the dumbest, like fan fiction bullshit. Like how people like, hey, we're just gonna fall in love today, and then like we're just gonna go to this party and just like let loose, and then this lady's like, hey, you killed my son. It's just so contrived. And then let's talk about for a second the bullies in this movie.
yeah.
I hate bullies in movies because it's stupid, right? It's just dumb.
And then they don't do it like current bullies. They stick to this, like almost template of what bullies are.
Yeah,
You know
but
what I mean?
my
The typical
problem,
bullies.
my problem with these bullies is that
Warren Bullier.
they're fucking little bitch, but like they're just like little dudes. Like, wait a minute, I'm like, okay, what I mean by that is like they're like marching band dudes. Like, there's 2 chicks and 2 guys. And they're like the least threatening looking bullies you've ever seen. Like 2 of them are chicks, like little girls, like 2. Not even like they're clearly
today,
younger.
They're probably masters on social media though.
Yeah, but they were bullying
they're
them.
probably bullying the
No, but they were
cyberbullying the
bullying
shit
him
out
in
of him.
person. They were
Yeah.
physically bullying him. I'm like, it'd be the day when a fucking 4-foot chick comes up and bullies me, which she might bully me out of some other things, but she ain't gonna bully me. Like, oh yeah, hey, get out of here, you loser. I'm like, bitch, you're 4 foot tall and you're in high school. Get the fuck out of my face. Like, what is like? I get Corey. I get the idea of it. Like I guess they wanted to show that he was so beaten down already by life that like
Yeah.
anybody could bully him at this point.
Yeah,
right?
he was just a punching bag.
Yeah, at that point. And then, like, when you get to the point where these bullies, right?
What
and
if she was like 5'3"?
fucking 5'3", 5'6", 5'8"? I don't give a fuck. He ain't bullying me. You gonna give me something else? You know?
What's that Brazilian MMA fighter? You know that
Which
super
one?
jacked up one? She's like 6'4", insanely ripped.
Yeah,
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I'm not sure.
Well,
I know,
I'm gonna put it right here.
here.
Yeah.
Well, I
That
know
girl,
Amanda Nunez.
No, she'll kick my ass.
Yeah, but
Amanda
there's
Nunes
a difference
whipped
between
my
kicking
ass.
my ass, right? There's a difference between somebody
no,
kicking
the
my
girl
ass
I'm
and
talking
somebody
about-
bullying me.
This
Like
girl that I'm
bullying
talking
is a
about,
different
she's
deal.
a giant. She's
Yeah.
jacked the fuck up.
Like this is the thing about bullies, right? Bullies come in and they try to fuck with you. Like they don't want to fight. They don't want to fight with you. Because I tell you what, right now, if there was somebody muscular bullying people in the neighborhood, like knocking people out, like really wanted to fight people, they'd kill him. He'd be dead. Or she. They'd kill them.
Like right now.
Yeah, they just kill them. Like
Well,
eventually
unfortunately,
that would happen.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's how it is.
That's how it is in the streets.
Back in the day, bullying was just, you
It's
fight,
like-
and that's it. But
Yeah,
now,
you fight because the moment you stand up to a bully, like
Yeah,
if
that's
somebody's
it.
bullying and then you hit them back, then it's over. Usually,
Yeah.
it's
and then
usually
then
over.
you guys become best friends.
Yeah,
And
most of
then-
the time that's how it
well,
happens because
usually.
the bully's missing something in their heart.
Yeah.
But these bullies were, oh my god, they were
But
so
now
stupid.
you will get shot.
You get shot. Like
Not
it's-
even from the first start.
If a big muscular guy was going around punching people in the head, it would take about 4 days before you got shot. Like there's like it's just the way it goes.
Especially in Chicago.
Yeah.
He'd be shot on, as they say, on site.
Yeah. Sometimes you just get shot for no reason. You
Yeah.
just get shot for just hanging out, looking
Just
muscular.
using an android.
You might just be a muscular guy walking around, and they might be like threatened by you, and they might just shoot you.
Yeah.
Like that's the reality of it. But that's a tangent. That's a dark tangent.
Especially on muscular people tangent.
Yeah. No, but like if
Muscular
some guy's
people, you
walking
could get
around
shot
like I'm
just
gonna,
like, oh,
I'm gonna
fuck.
beat the shit out of you, like
I'm
trying
at
to
a
be
Whole Foods
intimidating.
getting some avocados.
Yeah. Try to be intimidating to people. They may feel threatened.
But
It's-
yeah,
it's
I agree, man. I think Halloween Ends is one of those
oh my
movies
god,
that
those-
just
But wait a minute, real quick about those bullies. Like when Michael Myers, Corey Cunningham as Michael Myers goes and kills them, we don't even see their deaths really.
no,
Like-
it is kind of like what
I'm like, what
but
the
that-
fuck? I'm like, you set these guys up to be pieces of shit, and then you're like, when the time comes to kill them, you're like, cut
But
away.
that's how it is. It's a lot of
my
like,
ass.
who gives a fuck in this movie? It's like you would like to see that, but it's
Yeah.
not gonna happen, and it's kind of annoying.
The best death, though, just to talk positive for a second, was the DJ when he smashes that DJ's head.
Yeah,
That was kind of cool.
It was
The
alright.
tongue, and he cuts the tongue out because he's talking all that shit.
Yeah.
I like that. But the movie's misguided. That movie is, God, like, it's one of the biggest disappointments. Like, he took a huge swing and missed everything. He didn't hit shit in this movie.
And it's sad too because he keeps doing this.
He keeps doing, and
We
after
gave
that
you
movie,
our
they
trust.
gave him,
Yeah,
they
we
gave
get-
him Exorcist.
Yeah, and you would think after that you'd be like, hey, the fans really hate this movie.
Yeah.
Hey, take on this Exorcist trilogy.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, what the fuck is
Yeah,
what for? Like,
it was
it's-
critically bad. It was bad at the box office.
We're talking
The
about
critics-
Exorcist, right?
No, well, both.
Yeah.
Exorcist and Halloween. Ends.
Exorcist, I think, did worse.
Yeah, I
in
think so.
Like
Yeah.
both box scores. and
Halloween
Rotten.
Ends was critically panned, and people didn't like it.
No.
So it was kind of like a cocky move to be like, fuck you, like I'm not going to end the story, like I'm not going to continue the story. I'm going to make a brand new story. And it was just such a cocky, arrogant move to do Halloween Ends.
Especially
right?
for the end.
Yeah, like I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want. Like that's like, oh yeah.
Or who gives a fuck kind of thing.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I
like
mean?
fuck you. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make Scream 1, 2, and 3, and then Part 3 is gonna be a musical comedy, rated G. Fuck you. Like it was just kind of like, he didn't give a shit. Like he was like more entwined. I think he was more inclined to just do whatever he wanted to do.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is my only chance to make this romance horror movie that I always wanted to make, and I'm gonna shove it and duct tape it onto a Halloween movie. Really sad. Like it's really a bummer.
But unfortunately, the man keeps doing this thing. Who knows? Maybe the new remake of The Omen.
He can't
They'll-
keep getting
he'll-
away with this.
But he does, man. It's crazy.
I know.
It's crazy. Even with Danny McBride, like you would think that, they would take a break from him. No,
Yeah, no.
he just keeps coming.
Keeps coming. I don't know.
Coming.
hard. But what did you guys think of Halloween Ends? Did you like it? Are we being too harsh? Anything about Halloween Ends? Anything else that we missed?
No, no. I mean, I just think there was a lot of wasted characters.
Wasted,
I think that's
yeah.
the last thing I have to say about this movie.
And then Michael Myers, like again, let's talk about Michael Myers for a quick second. Like they make him a bitch in this movie.
yeah, and
Like,
that's
he
what I'm
gets
saying.
his ass whooped.
Like in this movie, I feel like I could have fucked him up.
Oh, you could have. No, you could have
Yeah.
because Corey
I
basically
just-
took the mask from him. And was like, "Fuck you, I'm taking the
Yeah,
mask."
but
no,
I'm
you
just
could.
like-
Anybody could have.
But everybody was like, and I'm just like, yo, this is crazy because he terrorized a whole city.
Yeah.
And then now in this one, freaking, you got two girls like fucking him up or something like that. You know,
From
that
his
could.
injuries, like
Yeah, and
Well,
I'm
was this from the injuries of Part 2?
I don't know, man. Maybe he's just showing his
So
age.
it's either this. It's
'Cause,
either
they
he's
touched
dead.
a lot on his age.
Yeah,
too.
that's true. He's like 8 to 70 years old.
Yeah. Or
It's
he's got to be
either
like
that
a little
he's
bit older.
dead,
He's got
right?
to be way. No. He's definitely older than Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
She was a baby. So
It's either that he's dead, like those injuries either kill him in Halloween Kills, or he just regenerates. Like he was in this weird state of limbo where like, and it felt like at one point in the movie, like when he was killing, like he brought that homeless guy to kill him or the cop. Remember in the tunnel, and he's like, "Here, stab him, Dad." Like he was helping him stab him, and then he was like getting energy. He was like, remember? He was like, "Oh, I'm getting energy." Like so, you're feeling like the
in
killing.
Blade Trinity when he fell in the pool of blood.
Yeah. Well,
it just came out.
Yeah. Who was that? Blade 2 when he came out?
No, it was Blade Trinity. Which with Triple H.
Blade
Triple
2,
H.
Blade 2.
For real?
Yeah.
That one?
It was Blade 2. He falls into the blood pool,
thing, and he comes out.
Yeah,
he comes back, and they play, "Back my bitch
yeah,
up."
Blade 2. Blade 2. Yeah. Blade 2 with Ron Perlman.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Ron Perlman died pretty badass too in that one. He gets cut in half.
Yeah, he gets fucked up. Yeah. He was so racist in that movie.
Oh yeah,
it was hilarious.
That crew was very questionable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What a waste of Donnie Yen. Talk about waste for a second. What the fuck? Why did they waste Donnie Yen in that movie?
Yeah, because they didn't even give him any cool parts.
Nothing.
You know, you were like, oh shit, he's in it. It's about to be a really cool karate scene.
Oh, give Donnie Yen
Or
Donnie Yen
versus
Blade.
Blade.
Oh my god, that would have been glorious.
Because Blade has his Wesley Snipes has his own martial arts.
Yeah. They're both very trained in martial arts.
Yeah,
I feel like Wesley Snipes is one of the only like American actors that could keep up with somebody like Jet Li.
Oh, 100%.
Or that Jet Li, Donnie Yen. My bad.
Also, we gotta talk up. You know, he did some tax stuff.
I mean, who hasn't?
But
not me.
Marvel owes him because that really was the first successful Marvel movie.
Definitely.
Not Iron Man, like a lot of you youngsters like to say.
Yeah, no, it's definitely Blade. Blade paved the way for other movies to be like, okay, it's okay to make a comic book movie
because
and give them like $100 million.
They snuck in this movie. It's like, hey, is this a comic book movie? A lot of people didn't know.
Yeah.
They enjoyed it, and they're like, wait a minute, we could do comic book movies like this?
Yeah, and they took it seriously.
Yeah.
This is like the first, like I know the Richard Donner Superman and Batman and stuff like that, but this is like the first Marvel movie that was like, people were like, oh shit, this could be really good stuff.
Yeah, and they got other characters as Marvel, as you're telling me, right?
Yeah.
You know, like
there's other things going on.
Because I always hear like Iron Man's the one that started it. I'm like, nah, I think we need to.
We got to acknowledge.
Like Michael J. White said, we owe Blade a lot, man.
We do. And we owe you guys a lot. So in the comments, let us know. Did you like Halloween Ends? If not, what did you like about it?
And what from this movie did you like?
Yeah. And if you like this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification for more. Check out our other videos. We do news, reviews, interviews, analysis, everything that has to do with horror. And we hope you
ASMR
like it too.
too.
Oh, yeah, ASMR. We do mukbangs on the weekends. But if you like this video, consider subscribing because we love to have you with us on the next one.
Terror Talk out.
Out.